very important during this pandemic to get more information about how vaccines work, how the viruses work, what are all these variants about, how they develop into variants. So those are very, very important questions to listen to from my opinion, from a scientist. Not from a physician necessarily, not from social media, and definitely also not from media. It is absolutely important to listen to a scientist working in the lab with those items, with mRNA, with RNA, with DNA, with viruses, with HIV viruses, with retroviruses, double-strand DNA virus, whatnot. So it is important to get all of your information from those scientists who actually were dealing with those elements in the lab. And also, not necessarily the young generation scientists. The reason why I'm saying this is because two reasons. One, the way medical doctors and scientists see science or interpret science is different. And I keep talking about this over and over again. Why? Because it's so important. It is also my experience from working in a medical field as a scientist in the lab, working with MDs, explaining science to MDs or presenting science to MDs, and how they interpret the data is so different than how we interpret the data. So for example, MDs mainly care about the result. Yes or no. Disease cured. Disease free. Or yes or no. Right? It is more about treating somebody, or it is cured, or is it treated. So that's what it's about. The scientist thinks about yes, no, but why? Why? Is it treated? Yes, but how? Is it not treated? Is it not cured? Why? What happened? How? That's what we think. That's what we naturally think. And also, if somebody tells you science cannot be questioned, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard as a scientist. Why? Because scientists' job is to question everything. That's our job. That's how we got trained. We are scientists because we question science. That's how it works. That's what science is. So all the, I would say, MDs think that way, that's it. Yes, no. Cured, not cured. Treated, not treated. So that's not what science actually is. Science is why and how. How we get there. Why is this all happening? That's why all these breakthroughs are coming from scientists, because we question everything. For example, for me, as a trained scientist, I question things. Everything I read and hear, I question, is that true? I go and research it. Sounds nuts, but it is how it is. That's what we are. We are scientists. But coming to the second part, why do I say trust the scientists or what they are saying? Older scientists who are more in the lab for the last, 20, 25 or more years, not the young generation. Because what I find observing and seeing, unfortunately, is that the younger scientists are somehow guided by media. Surprising to me, maybe not surprising, but scary, because the new science, unfortunately, is more robotized. Is that a word? It's more robotic. So in the past, I was a scientist since in the early 90s. So we had to do all of our solutions, like when we work with RNA, mRNA, DNA, and all the other cells, we had to create all the solutions, all the buffers ourselves, so we knew when something went wrong, why and how. But now you can purchase everything. Even I talked with this or discussed this with the professor on Twitter. I think he agreed with me on that one, because the way science is now, like the scientists work, I mean, you can go and purchase your buffer, you can purchase your already, send it out, atomize your microarrays, right? It's just like so robotic. So, and also all the solutions. So all you need to do now, there are kits, right? And these companies are just driving crazy their businesses to create these kits. Why? To make science faster, make science results going faster, and help the scientists to get the data and results much faster. And there's no brains behind of it. All you need to do is take this kit, pipe it 5 microliters of solutions to each of the tubes, and then boom, done, result, finito. And then you just that's what it is. So where's the brains? At what point did you use your brain? So the way we got trained, doing everything ourselves, is completely different what is science and how it's being done today. That's why I'm saying the people who are doing science for 20 or more than 20 years, those are the ones that actually sitting in the lab and digesting all of the information in a much more efficient way. And I would suggest you to strongly find those people and listen to those, what they're saying, also throughout this pandemic. And again, I would not recommend to follow just these young generations and just like whatever, somehow we have to, this is it, and we all scientists must believe in this, and all of these MDs, we have to believe in this. Everything else is horrible, is crap, is uneducated. If it's uneducated, then educate. So you see what I mean? So it is not like that. It's not about that. You can't just throw it away. Again, science has to be questioned. And also my suggestion since day one is media has to also give the platform for scientists to openly discuss and talk about science. This is just crazy. It is currently, for the last 2 years, like somebody tells us, or some people, mostly MDs, telling us what we must believe in to be science. That's not how it works. I, as a scientist, I'm not believing in anybody who says anything. I'm sorry, that's not my training. My training is questioning everything, researching everything, and then come to a conclusion. If somebody likes it, their problem. Somebody dislike it, their problem. But my job is say what my research results show. That's it. Again, if we are not giving the platform to talk and discuss science openly, there is no science. There won't be innovation. There won't be any further technology. Because believe or not, all these treatments, all of these cures for all of the diseases, we are the ones developing it. We are the ones sitting in the lab 24 hours and working on it. We, the scientists, we know the nuts and bolts. And with our innovation, with our technology, with our what we have found, the scientists, cures happen. And the MDs are treating the patients with our discovery. You know what I mean? So we are an important part of it. Without us, there is no vaccine. Because we are sitting in the lab developing the vaccine. We are sitting in the lab developing the cure, the treatment for cancer, for other diseases. Because we scientists question and question and question, sitting in the lab for 24 hours, 7 days a week, right? Sacrificing our lives because we develop science. We develop the cure. We drive the innovation. We discover. we discover breakthroughs, and usually the breakthroughs happen just out of unexpected things you do in the lab. What you're not supposed, but suddenly you did, you're like a mistake. Oftentimes the breakthroughs comes with a mistake you do in the lab. You pipette things in a different way, like, oh my God, I did a mistake, and then boom, something else pops up. This is how major discoveries happened, and only people who sit in the lab can understand that. So we cannot divide further, or people just take credit of what scientists do in the lab, because we are the drivers of innovation, technology, and breakthroughs, and the MDs are treating patients with that. This is how it's supposed to be taken, not you do and we run with it. That's not how it works. And science, please remember that. Science has to be questioned. That's what science is. That's how it's been done for ages, because that's what science is. That's what scientists do. That's what we got trained for. And also, again, platforms, media platforms should open up more and give us more a chance to discuss science openly. This will help public trust, this will help public education, and this will help all the initiatives to actually implement much more faster and much more efficiently, and we actually get results and results faster. So that's my take as a scientist. Please let me know in the comments what you think, if you agree, and if you also would like science to be discussed openly by scientists, because that's how it goes. That's what science is all about and should be all about, and also to increase public trust and public education. Thank you. Bye-bye.